Margaret stood in her kitchen, staring at the stairs that led to her bedroom. At 54, those 12 steps had become her daily nemesis. Her knees ached, her lower back protested, and she'd started avoiding situations that required prolonged standing. When did I become old? She whispered to herself. That morning, scrolling through her phone, she stumbled upon a video about sumo squats. The trainer claimed this single exercise could reverse years of decline. Margaret was skeptical, but desperate enough to try anything. What Margaret didn't know was that she was about to discover something powerful. The sumo squat, that wide stance, toes pointed outward movement, wasn't just another exercise. For people over 50, it was practically engineered for aging bodies. Dr. Chen, a physical therapist specializing in aging adults, explained it perfectly. After 50, we lose muscle mass at an accelerating rate, about 3% per year. But it's not just about muscle. Our hip mobility decreases, our balance deteriorates, and our bone density drops. The sumo squat addresses all of these simultaneously. Margaret watched tutorial after tutorial that first night. The stance was wider than shoulder width, toes pointed at 45-degree angles, and the movement focused on sitting back rather than down. It looked simple. Almost too simple. Day 1 was humbling. Margaret managed only 5 repetitions before her legs trembled. Her inner thighs muscles she'd forgotten existed screamed in protest. She grabbed the kitchen counter for support, breathing heavily. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. 5 squats and I'm done. But she'd made a commitment. Every day, no matter what. By day 3, Margaret could barely walk. Her inner thighs, glutes, and even her core muscles ached in ways she hadn't experienced in decades. She questioned her sanity. Had she injured herself? Was she too old for this? Then something shifted on day 6. The soreness began to fade, replaced by something different, a feeling of strength, however small. She managed 8 squats. The movement felt slightly more natural. Her body was adapting. By week 2, Margaret was doing 15 sumo squats each morning. She'd learned to engage her core, to breathe properly, to feel the muscles working rather than just enduring the movement. Something unexpected happened. Her hip flexors, tight from years of sitting, began to loosen. The chronic lower back pain that had plagued her for years started to diminish. She didn't make the connection immediately, but her physical therapist did. "Your posture has changed," Dr. Rodriguez observed during her monthly checkup. "Your hips are more mobile." "What have you been doing differently?" Margaret explained her sumo squat routine, now up to 20 repetitions daily. "Keep going," the doctor encouraged. "Your body is relearning movement patterns it forgot." Week 3 brought another revelation. Margaret noticed she could stand from her chair without using her hands for support. A small thing, perhaps, but it represented something profound: functional strength returning to her body. Her neighbor, Robert, 58, noticed her exercising in the backyard one morning. Intrigued by her dedication, he joined her. Together, they pushed through the discomfort, encouraging each other through the daily repetitions. By the second month, Margaret's daily routine had evolved. She started with 30 sumo squats, then added variations, holding at the bottom for 5 seconds, pulsing through the movement, adding a slight hop at the top. The physical changes were undeniable. Her legs looked different, more defined, stronger. But the internal changes were even more remarkable. Her balance had improved dramatically. She could stand on one foot while putting on shoes, something she hadn't been able to do in years. Her bone density, skin showed improvement. Not dramatic, her doctor explained, but the trend is moving in the right direction. The loading pattern of sumo squats stimulates bone growth, especially in the hips and spine, exactly where we need it most at your age. Robert had his own breakthrough. His chronic knee pain, which doctors had attributed to arthritis and told him to learn to live with, had diminished by 70%. "The strengthening of the muscles around my knees is providing stability my joints lost," he explained to anyone who would listen. But the benefits extended beyond the physical. Margaret found herself more energetic throughout the day. Her sleep improved. She felt capable in a way she hadn't in years. Dr. Chen explained the physiology. The sumo squat is uniquely beneficial for aging bodies for several reasons. First, the wide stance reduces stress on knee joints while maximizing activation of the glutes, inner thighs, and core muscle groups that deteriorate rapidly after 50. Second, the movement pattern improves hip mobility and strengthens the posterior chain, your back, glutes, and hamstrings. These muscles support your spine and prevent the forward-leaning posture common in older adults. Third, the exercise is weight-bearing, which signals your body to maintain and even increase bone density. And fourth, it challenges your balance and proprioception, your body's sense of position and space, which prevents falls, the leading cause of injury in older adults. Margaret learned that her body was producing more growth hormone and testosterone in response to the exercise. Yes, even at 54, her body could still adapt and grow stronger. The sumo squat was triggering a cascade of positive physiological responses. 3 months in, Margaret noticed benefits she never anticipated. Her digestion improved. The daily squatting motion was massaging her internal organs and improving gut motility. Her circulation was better, her feet and hands were no longer constantly cold. Her mental health transformed too. The daily practice became a form of moving meditation. Starting each day with intentional movement set a positive tone. She felt accomplished before breakfast. The discipline spilled over into other areas. She ate better, drank more water, spent less time scrolling on her phone. Robert lost 15 pounds without changing his diet. "The muscle mass I've built is burning calories even at rest," he explained. "And I have the energy to be more active throughout the day." Their morning routine had grown into a small community. 3 neighbors now joined them, all over 50, all experiencing their own transformations. It wasn't all smooth progress. Margaret had days when her motivation waned, when the routine felt monotonous, when old doubts crept in. There were plateaus where progress seemed to stall. She learned to listen to her body. Some days, 20 squats were enough. Other days, she could push to 50. The key was consistency, not perfection. She also learned proper form was crucial. When she started going too fast or too deep, old pains resurfaced. Working with a trainer for 2 sessions taught her the nuances, keeping knees tracking over toes, maintaining a neutral spine, breathing through the movement. 6 months after that first trembling set of 5 squats, Margaret bounded up her stairs without thought. She carried groceries with ease. She played on the floor with her grandchildren without worrying about getting back up. "What's your secret?" her sister asked, noticing the change in Margaret's vitality. Margaret smiled. 30 sumo squats a day. Every single day. It sounded too simple to be true. But Margaret had learned that sometimes the most profound transformations come from the simplest practices, repeated with dedication. At 54, she wasn't trying to turn back the clock. She was reclaiming capabilities she thought were lost forever, proving that age is less about years and more about what you do with your body daily. The sumo squat hadn't just strengthened her legs. It had restored her confidence, her independence, and her belief that at any age, improvement is possible. All it took was showing up, squatting wide, and refusing to accept decline as inevitable.